So here we are in Trans Gravel Royale with Cory Wallace, one of the top riders of this race, who is going to tell us his impressions and well, some tips about this race. So Cory, what can you tell us about this Trans Gravel Royale?
Yeah, well, it's a real ride back into the Canadian backcountry. So you gotta be prepared for anything, weather, animals. There's some pretty hard hike-a-bike sections. But really, it's just about just pacing yourself and having a good time. The days are pretty like 90K, so I'll just keep a steady pace even by noon. And yeah, it's just like having the right bike set up. I'm running a Kona Libre with 40C tires. And then you gotta get the pressure right. The pressure's pretty key. Too low and you're gonna flat. Too high and it's gonna be a rough ride. So I run inserts in my tire and then run about 30 to 35 PSI. That's a good balance. And otherwise, I mean, it's good feed zones out there. We've been just going at 3 water bottles and not stopping. And yeah, it was just a great experience. This stuff, like no one ever rides it, so it's pretty nice for us to even come out here and check it out. It's just beautiful when you have a chance to look up and see the Rocky Mountains. But a lot of time you focus on the trail or the road because there's rocks and potholes and little speed bumps all over the place. So yeah, you gotta keep your wits about you, but it's a great experience.
Okay, thanks a lot, Cory. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi everybody, welcome to this video of race review in which we are going to speak about one of the not many stage races for gravel that we have in the world. We are going to speak today about the Trans Rockies Gravel Royale, which happens in Canada, in the British Columbia area. And in this video we are going to try to speak about how the race is, how does it look like, the route, how can we get there, and certain tips that can help us to well, to be successful on this race. We will be having as well the opinion from Cory Wallace, one of the racers that has been 5 times 24 hours world champion and one of the best riders in the gravel scene in North America. So stay with us, and we are going to speak about all these topics shortly. Let's start with the route and with some tips about this race. So the race, as said, happens in British Columbia, not far from Calgary. Well, it takes like 4 hours to reach from Calgary to the area in which it starts. It starts in a ski resort called Panorama, and from there we go all the way to Fernie, crossing the Canadian Rockies. I have to say that when I arrived there, one of the things that most impressed me was the scenery, the landscape, just on our route to Panorama, to this ski resort in which the races are starting. It was stunning. It was amazing. I've been traveling all around the world and having races in a lot of places, and well, this was completely different. And I used to say that it was the endless forest, because there was no end to this forest full of trees and with very beautiful lakes along the way. So it's something that is not easy to explain. There are no words to explain, but we have to see from ourselves there. And so we could imagine that the race there was going to be amazing, because having a gravel race, a stage gravel race on that scenery, and camping along the way, so it was going to be fantastic. One of the advantages of having a camp on this type of races is that you are in very remote places, so you are not just in ski resorts or villages, etc. You get to camp in places with no signal coverage at all, and that you are in the middle of the nature. So places really amazing as we had on this race. But now let's take a look first to the route of this Trans Rockies Gravel Royale, how it looks like, and then we will speak about other particularities and how to get there, etc. So first, let's start with the route. Let's take a look to the route of this Trans Gravel Royale here on my commute. As you can see, I have here the collection. So it was a route of 4 stages that was covering 404 kilometers and around 6,000 meters of accumulated height. So we can see here on the map how does it look like all the route. We started here and we went all the way through the Rockies into Fernie. I'm not sure if we can see here how. Yeah, we can see how far it is from Calgary. It's not really far. I said it's like a 3-4 hours drive. And well, so the first stage on this Trans Gravel Royale was, as a starter, was 80k with 1,670 meters of elevation. It was a hard stage in which mainly we had a big climb. It was very big, and as you can see here on a profile, just one big climb, and with very steep ascent, in which we have to walk along some of the way. The stage was easy until we reached this point in which we started to climb, and then on the top, one of the most beautiful things of the stage, we started our descent on a very narrow and very beautiful single track. It was like this kind of covered single tracks that is full of vegetation, etc. And then suddenly, around this part of the descent, it just opened to a valley in which we could see all the valley, all the forest. We could see a really nice picture of the Rockies. Then a fast descent and some rolling terrain until we got to the finish line. It was, as I said, hard because of this climb, but was something not very well tight, and we could just enjoy this as first stage, and well, get ready for for the rest of the stages that we had to manage on the next days. The second stage of this Trans Rockies Gravel Royale was a loop from the first campsite that we have in Nipica, and well, it was all the way around this beautiful forest in Nipica. But the campsite we will speak later, because it was a beautiful place. I said very remote, without any signal or coverage, and we had the lake in which we can relax, and then we had even a wild river. It was very cold, by the way, but yeah, we had a certain number of things to enjoy. So as we can see here on the loop on the map, and the profile as well, it was very similar to the previous day. It was a bit more gradual, the climb, but in the end it was a big climb, and after that just some rolling terrain. The only particularity here was that, well, this descent was done through a very narrow single track. It was almost a mountain bike descent, let's say, not in the sense of stones, etc., but it was like very narrow, and we had to well, to go slowly, and watch our wheels. Was some kind of wet, the terrain as well, and we had to cross some rivers, etc. But I have to say that I really enjoyed, even though it take some time to have this to finish this descent, but in the end was something really amazing. And then we had this rolling terrain with some spikes, as you can see, that, well, you could feel it in your legs, that took us to the campsite again. In the end, we have well, I said 82.5 kilometers with 1,320 meters of elevation. was another amazing stage. So for the third stage on this Trans Rockies Gravel Royale, we started with some more Ks to come, because we had like 108 Ks that was taking us to a different place. It was taking us to Canal Flats, well, very small population in British Columbia as well, and we had 1,000 meters of elevation on this stage. As you can see here, we had the first loop in which there was a very big climb at the beginning. We suffered a lot on that big climb, but as you can see here on the profile, we descend again to the campsite in Ipica, and after that was rolling terrain with some, well, we had some kind of advantage, because it seems it was tending the descent, but you could not feel that, and you could just go up and down, a very nice and fast rolling terrain with a lot of well, big double tracks, and that we could follow. The descent was fast as well, was a faster stage, and fast descent was a bit dangerous, some ditches on the way, but well, it was well announced by the organization, so there was no problem on that. And for the final stage on this Trans Rockies Gravel Royale, was not, I said, one of these transition stages that you just enjoy and just see the views, etc. It was a difficult and long stage, 134 Ks, very rolling as well, very fast. It had to climb like 1,800 meters, so some climb on the way. That was the fourth day. The pace along the first days was high. There was a real big competition, so if you were comparing, you could feel it in your legs, and they were starting to hard, and you could feel the pain on those legs. As you see, this was the way to take us to Fernie, the location in which the race was finished, in a very nice village, very typical Canadian village in the Rocky Mountains, and this was the profile. So was turning up the first half, then going a bit down, and last climb. From the top of the last climb on a kilometer 120 more or less, it was neutralized through the finish line, so everybody could enjoy the last bit as we were crossing roads, etc. So nobody had to had the danger of cars, etc. and roads, open roads. So it was a very fast stage, very nice, but well, was feeling tired. But in the end, you have this feeling of have accomplished something big along these 4 days that you cover on the Rocky Mountains. So basically, as we could see on the route itself, was a very nice route, was a fast route, but with some climbing, because hard climbing, by the way. So it was challenging as well, and we had some not very technical, but some technical terrain that made it like a bit more enjoyable, let's say. So there were parts of the route that were like more enjoyable with single tracks, and that you can have to have all your attention and enjoying the descent mainly. So I have to say that this is we have to put out a 10 for this route, because it was really nice route. So now let's speak about the race and what can we find there. So I said on this race the accommodation was in a camp, so we were camping. We had a tent of 4 persons for each 2 of us, so it was comfortable, and we had a space in a tent itself. And the camp itself was full of well, commodities, let's say. So we have shower's track, We had food all along the way, snacks, etc. There was a place where we could have lunch as well, some burgers, etc., and hot dogs. And there was a dining tent in which we have the dinner every day and the breakfast. So it was full of services. We had enough toilets for all of us. And the first location was really amazing. Was in the middle of the Rockies, and was very remote, and we could enjoy to stay there for 2 nights. It was, and the second location was in Carl Flats, was a small village, and close to a sports ground, and was good as well. One of the good things of this camp races is the camp ambience, the atmosphere, that you get to know a lot of people, you get to interact, you speak to a lot of people. I have to say that the atmosphere on this race was amazing. Was I don't know why the gravel races have a different atmosphere compared with the mountain bike or the road racing especially, and it's more open. You speak to a lot of people. You just speak about the different backgrounds, and you could see all type of racers. So I'm going to leave you with a short video of the camp itself, and you could see as well the dining and breakfast stand, and then we will speak about how was the race.
We are in Ipica camp. As you can see, this is the camp that the Trans Gravel Royale has set up for these 2 days, actually for the first and second day. We have all the tents set up here. As you see, the scenery couldn't be better than this one. The landscape is amazing. We are in a fantastic place, just surrounded by mountains and a very big forest. We have a lake just beside, a wild river. In the camps we have a tent with the snacks and sandwiches, which is working the whole day, so you can ask for anything you want, any nutrition during the day, or any sports drink, etc. We have on the back the track with the showers. There's the mechanics over there. There's a chill out zone, and we have as well there all the toilets and the racks for bicycles. As you can see, this is set up like a place to enjoy, to have some camp life and talk with other people, socialize, making this more than a race, but an experience itself. 6 o'clock in the morning, and let's take a look to the breakfast tent. Here we have the different options that we can have for breakfast: bread, some meat, some eggs, fruit. Here we have some porridge as well, and here we have the area in which the people can sit, can enjoy the breakfast while talking to others. And here we have the table, which has like the coffee, tea, etc. So it's a pretty complete breakfast tent that has to give us some power for the day.
So the race itself is designed for all type of riders, because we had riders, the top riders were covering the stages, I don't know, in around 3 hours, let's say, or even less than that, 2 hours and a half. So they were really fast. There was a big competition. We had really good competitors, and even though they were like very long stages, we had this type of cyclocross starts. And I can remember one of the days that I was trying to go with the head group, and we had a completely cyclocross start, just sprinting from the beginning, even though we had still 80k to cover and some declines, so it was impossible to follow that pace. So it was really big competition in every category, but at the same time it's designed in a way that everybody can enjoy. So if you are not that type of fast racer, let's say, but you are just looking to enjoy the experience, to enjoy the landscapes and the route through the Rockies, you will have your space as well, let's say, and you will have the time to enjoy, because I think that the cut time for each stage was 8 or 9 hours, having into account that was, well, not a very technical terrain, so it's an average that almost everybody can reach and can enjoy the race, and can enjoy all the views and all the route, and I think it's worth. And sometimes I even think that it's it's even worth it just to not race that much, and from time to time just have a picture, or have the time to enjoy the views, stop for a while, etc. But sometimes we are just racing as much as we can. But the important thing is that on this race they have thought about everybody, and everybody has their space and have the time enough to finish. On our way, every day we had like two main aid stations, in which there was from I don't know, some mechanical bits, if in case we had a mechanical, and obviously we have drinks to fill our bottles, and some food as well, some sandwiches, fruit, etc. So we could just have food, and to continue the race. They well sorted, so it was they were good for the race. I said we have two, and but there were other places that you could get, or maybe water, some sources, etc. But I think it's enough for this type of races. It's not very long, but there was people that was with the camelbacks, etc., just in case, to make sure that they had water enough, or that they didn't stop, because the first races was just trying to not stop in any fit station at all, and just try to follow. Also, the coverage, the medical coverage was good. I had I was a bit unfortunate, and I had to test it, as I had a crash on a first stage, and I have to say that all is gratitude from my side, because the medical aid just got to a remote and difficult place to arrive in just minutes. The rest of the colleagues just stopped and tried to help me, and stayed with me until this medical aid came, and from there it was everything as easy as it could be. So we are in good hands. I have to say that the organization of this event is organizing many other events in a mountain bike scene, etc. So they have been organizing races for a number of years. So they are not new at all. They know what they do, and they know how to organize one of those races. So you feel that you are in good hands when you go there. So now let's start talking about some practical information about the race. So the course itself is marked, but the organization is giving to us as well the GPX file, so we can get the route on our GPS and make sure that we are always following the correct track, and we are not getting lost. You know that sometimes you just get nervous. You don't see a flag for some time, and you don't know if you are on the right path. But I have to say that it's really well marked, so it's difficult to get lost. But just in case, you have your route on your GPS, and you can follow it. You can follow it as well. Regarding to the meals on the race, we had like 2 included meals, let's say, which were breakfast and dinner that were happening on a dining tent. And something that surprised me is that they were really good. By the way, we had we enjoyed the food. Breakfast were like very complete, and you had a lot of options, and the same for dinner, and were really good to get more power for the following day, or for the stage in the morning. So we really enjoyed the food. But something that surprised me is that on the webpage you had the menus some months ahead of the race. It's really good, because you can see what you are going to have for dinner or for breakfast each of the days of the race. And in case there's something which is not your cup of tea, I don't know, just try to work around it, or bring your own cereals, or you want to have for breakfast or for dinner. So I think it's very practical to have that kind of information. So very good from the organization. Now let's see, how can we travel to the race. So I traveled from Madrid and I flew all my way to Calgary Airport. I think it's the most convenient place to arrive in Canada if you're planning to go to this race, as Calgary is just 3-4 hours away from the start in Panorama. And also something which is very convenient is that the organization is to buy a ticket in a shuttle which is going from Calgary Airport to Panorama. So it's organizing that for us. And also the same shuttle can take you from the finish line in Fernie to the Calgary Airport again, so you can fly back home. So the shuttle itself is happening the day before the registration. So let's say 2 days ahead of the race, and the shuttle back is happening on a day after the race. So it takes you to Calgary Airport back. I think it's more convenient than having to hire cars or rent car, etc., or taxis. That's much more expensive. So for us, when we arrived to Calgary, we just booked an hotel in close to Calgary Airport, as you have this shuttles to the airport that are for free as well. So we enjoyed spending 1 day in Calgary and visiting Calgary, etc., some sightseeing. And in the afternoon, we went back to the hotel and to the airport, and then we took the shuttle to Panorama. As you're arriving in Panorama, let's say two nights before the event is starting, so you need to book an accommodation in Panorama for those 2 nights. The organization can give you some leads to something to book in Panorama, but you can also book your own Airbnb or any other type of accommodation. I advise you to book it in advance, as it gets packed from people from the race, and it's also a very known and very good touristic destination. So it's good to plan it in advance. Also the same with Fernie, with the city in which, or the village in which we are finishing. We booked an hotel for the day after the race. We book it ourselves in booking.com or in any of those websites, and then you can enjoy, if you stay there, you enjoy the communal dinner, and the party afterwards, because there's a party, the stage number 5 that you have to survive as well. Not only I don't know about the elevation that you have in that stage, but it's something that you have to survive somehow as well. It's nice to enjoy, after 4 days racing. So you to enjoy a drink with your with the guys that you have been around the whole week, etc., and the camp. So it's really good. And the next morning you have the shuttle back to Calgary Airport. So it's very easy, and I think that the organization it's very good that they organize these shuttles. So it's make it very easy for all of us, all the traveling, and you just need to check out what are the dates for those shuttles and just try to coordinate with your flights. And it's very easy, and everybody can go there without any hassle. So this is everything we had to tell you about this amazing race, this amazing gravel stage races. I have to say that it's the first stage gravel race that I do, and I really enjoy it. It's something totally different. Just the route itself, on the way of racing is different to the mountain bike. It's different to the road racing. The people is different as well. The ambience, the atmosphere. I think that somehow you enjoy a bit more, and you can find all types of people there. with different mindsets, and trying some to compete, some to enjoy, but a very open scene, let's say, which is always very nice on a cycling. So I really recommend you, if you like gravel, if you like beautiful places, I really recommend you to this race. Is really nice to go there and to enjoy some days there and with some good company, and real cycling, real graveling. I think that is not going to disappoint you. And now to finish, we're going to leave you with the opinion and some tricks from one of the top contenders, that was Cory Wallace, that has been 5 times 24 hours mountain bike world champion as well, and winner of many races, one of the most known Canadian riders, and a friend of mine since we met in the Himalayas some years ago. So he's going to give us some tips, and also some words from Aaron from the organization, the main man in the organization, who is the director of the race, who is going to let us know some information also about the race. So hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't hesitate to make me any questions through Instagram, through YouTube, or any of the channels that you want to connect with me, and I'm open to help you on your trip to the Trans Rockies, on planning your trip to there as well. So good luck, and see you.
So here we are with Aaron McConnell, who is the representative for this Trans Rockies Gravel Royale. So Aaron, tell us a bit about the race.
All right, Trans Rockies Gravel Royale is a 4-day gravel stage race. We're going from Panorama to Fernie, British Columbia in Canada, and it's just over 400 kilometers. We've got riders from all over the world. We used to do a mountain bike race in the same area called the Trans Rockies Challenge, but this area is perfect for gravel racing. So we're excited to bring the first ever Gravel Royale this year.
Okay, I have to say that the event has been amazing. So we wait for all of you here. So thanks, Aaron.
Thank you, Jorge.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.